So, you know what separates successful investors from everyone else? It's not IQ, it's not strategy, it's not timing, it's not even returns. It's temperament. That's it. That's the answer. That's the truth that I find almost no one wants to actually accept. And it's not just any temperament, it's a superior one, forged in discomfort, sharpened through adversity, and tested relentlessly by uncertainty. I love Warren Buffett, and one of his many quotes, I really think he said it best. Investing is not a game where the guy with a 160 IQ beats the guy with a 130 IQ. Once you have ordinary intelligence, what you need is the temperament to control the urges that get other people in trouble in investing. The reason Buffett focuses so heavily on temperament because the human mind is not built for long-term investing. It's built for survival, for immediate feedback, for responding to danger, real or perceived. We're wired to perseverate on negative events, to replay losses over and over again in our heads. There's a great line from the movie Rounders with Matt Damon that captures it perfectly. Few players recall the big pots that they've won, strange as it seems. But every player can remember with remarkable accuracy the outstanding tough beats of his career. That's the game that's inside the game. That's the mental trap that we're up against. In investing, it means we'll always remember the time that we've lost money, or the times that we've lost money, more vividly than the times that we've made it. We'll obsess over the bear markets, the corrections, and barely acknowledge the decades of compound growth. And unless someone helps us fight that default wiring, unless someone trains us to see that pattern, we will fall victim to it again and again. So this past weekend at the CrossFit Games in Albany, I watched the same lesson play out, actually in a different arena. The fittest athletes on earth showed us yet again what separates the elite from the rest. And it wasn't just fitness. It wasn't just training. It was actually who could keep their mind intact when everything else was or started to fall apart. Kind of just like investing. Then there's Jayson Hopper. So Jayson is a former wide receiver from Clemson University turned CrossFit phenom. And he's no stranger to the spotlight or to the pressure. He's a powerful, explosive athlete known for thriving in a high volume, high intensity atmosphere. And over the past few years, he's actually climbed steadily through the ranks, gaining respect for his work ethic and his composure. And he entered the final day of the 2025 CrossFit Games with the lead. The pressure was at its peak. There were 3 events left. He was at the top. The title was within reach. And just as quickly, it could have vanished. There was an event that came along called Going Dark. And it was a sort of soul-sucking mix of echo bike, yoke carries, deficit handstand push-ups. For those of you that aren't familiar with those exercises, think of the worst thing that you could possibly think of from a fitness perspective. And those pretty much represent that. But Hopper didn't just survive that workout, he won it. He had the temperament to operate without feedback, without the applause, the certainty, just the chaos of a terrible workout, but a mind built to navigate it. But in actuality, the real test came in the very next event. It was event 9 of the 10 total events, and he stumbled badly. On the final barbell, mere steps from the finish line, he missed one of his lifts. He gathered himself, and then he missed another. And the crowd gasped. Multiple athletes passed him, and he finished actually 11th in a workout that he was coming close to winning. All of a sudden, the leaderboard leading up to that last event tightened. A victory that was in hand just minutes earlier was suddenly in jeopardy. So what did he do? Did he fold under pressure? Did he let the moment break him? No, he didn't. He came back out in that final event and he dominated. He took 3rd place out of a field of 30 athletes, reclaimed his margin, and was crowned the fittest man on earth for 2025 in the CrossFit Games. You see, temperament is not about perfection. It's about what happens after you stumble. When the voice in your head gets really loud, when the doubt creeps in, when everybody else would fall apart. And that's the difference. That's the real difference. And that's the same test that investors face. When the portfolio drops, when the plan feels shaky, when the headlines pile on, when all this pressure for your finances, for your family, pile on. And do you stay grounded or do you spiral? Superior temperament is not steady performance. It's relentless recovery. And temperament must be transferred. It's not innate. It doesn't come built in with your 401k plan. It doesn't show up because you read a few books or you listen to a few podcasts. It's not absorbed by osmosis. It has to be given. It has to be transferred. It has to be practiced. And that's our role as advisors, as coaches, as leaders, as guides. And we're not here to soothe people. We're not here to impress them with our intellect or our knowledge or our expertise. We are here to donate courage, to inject conviction, to sort of transfuse a temperament that will hold on when the world falls apart again. Because without that, all the planning in the world is irrelevant. This is the real test. And why the analogy today? Because CrossFit and investing are not different things. They're both tests of who you are when you're under pressure. Both can expose your deficiencies, your defaults. Both require you to act with clarity when the world is unclear. Because the economic headlines are rarely positive. The geopolitical stage is always loud. Many, many investors get rattled. They want to sidestep the pain. It's a lot easier just to sit in cash during the times that don't look great. Wait it out. But what they really want, what they need, is a reason to keep going, a reason to believe that chaos doesn't necessarily mean you're doomed. And that reason is us. That's our role as advisors. We don't flinch. We don't chase. We don't run. We coach, we teach, we lead. Because the miracle, and it is a miracle, of a successful retirement, the one that sustains withdrawals, that fights inflation, that compounds beautifully beyond any expectation over time. It's not something you can hope for. It's something that you must deserve. And it is deserved only through superior temperament. And this temperament is not common. It's certainly not comfortable, and definitely not intuitive. So the temperament that everyone needs, it must be delivered by someone who lives in it. And that's us. That's why we were all put here. I believe that's why I was put here. Let everybody else chase the predictions. Let everyone else panic at the noise. Let them play small. We're not here to react. We're not here to run away. We're here to enforce discipline. We're here to reframe the game. We are here actually to be the donor of courage. And that's not a job. That's a calling. And the clients who stay the course through the next storm, the ones who deserve the miracle, they'll only do so because we transfused into them something stronger than fear. That's the whole game. That's the work that we do, and we do it with Relentless Abandon.